Well, good morning, YouTube. Perrin Lovett, perrinlovett.me, and Freedom Prepper. This is the video commentary section for Prepper News Weekly for Friday, August the 25th, 2017. And I'm down here on the water, enjoying a beautiful sunlit morning, watching the clouds scatter. And a couple things in the news today to talk about. First of all, on the other side of this Gulf of Mexico, we have Hurricane Harvey barreling down on the Texas Gulf Coast. I think the storm is expected to make landfall sometime this evening, maybe 7 o'clock, and not exactly where it's going to hit. Last I heard, winds were around 105 miles per hour, a lot of rain. I'm not sure if it's a Category 2 or a Cat 3. It's still a very dangerous storm, and if you're in Texas, I hope you have already taken precautions. This is, any storm like this is something that all preppers, no matter where you are, should be looking at to see how things work and to tweak your plans. If you're in the path of the storm, get out and be mindful that things like this, even if it downgrades to a tropical storm or just a depression, can still go hundreds or even thousands of miles inland. It may go straight into Texas, up close to Austin, Dallas, Amarillo even. Of course, it could hook back, travel across the Midwest, and hit New England. These things have even done a U-turn across the southeast, come back, reformed into a hurricane in the Atlantic, and hit Florida, and then hit the Gulf again. Very, very dangerous. They're thinking this storm may drop something like 30 inches of rain, which could very easily flood a lot of low-lying Texas areas. So flooding is something that you definitely need to watch out for. Rising, moving water is very dangerous. So do take care. I hope everybody's safe with the hurricane, and I think this is the first major storm of 2017. One of the first storms to actually hit the Gulf Coast in quite some time. Other news, we still have the continuing, we'll call it the Charlottesville effect. I'm trying to see where the sunlight is the best here. A lot of sunlight. The Charlottesville madness is spread far and wide. ESPN, which appears to be a totally SJW converged organization, has taken sportscaster Robert Lee, who is Asian, off of the UVA basketball game because his name is Robert Lee, not Robert E. Lee, the dead Confederate general. This is Robert Lee. And an Asian-looking man who has nothing to do with the Confederacy or anything else. That's an interesting story. I may or may not link to it. I've got a lot of links down below. Some of the ones I want to talk about, we're now getting warnings from a lot of the big commercial banks that a market correction is coming. This is something that I think I mentioned last week. Ron Paul was worried about a 50% drop in the stock market. Jim Rogers has been warning about this for months now. If you pay attention, even the Fed has dropped some interesting statements, trying some CYA statements. The only people we haven't heard from are our friendly idiot politicians who I'm not sure what they're up to, probably doing nothing, certainly no tax reform, healthcare reform, anything of use. They are, at least in the White House, they are pushing more war. Trump, who ran on this America First, America Only platform, has threatened to go to war in Venezuela, a place we cover a lot because of the tragedies down there. I'm not sure what good any kind of American military intervention would do, except to make things much worse. One thing the long-suffering people of Venezuela don't want are American troops in their country. That's one thing that would unite everybody in a common cause that wouldn't be good for them, and it wouldn't be good for us. We've had a little bit of cooling in the North Korean situation, which is great. Hopefully that will work itself out, and we can finally put that peninsular chapter behind us. And then there is Afghanistan, America's longest war. 16 years now, or it'll be 16 years in October, with no victory, really no goal in sight. Trump asked earlier if it was a loss, and it's kind of hard to lose a war that you're kind of halfway in and you don't know what your objectives are, but he wants to go the distance, or try to. He's going to try to give the generals free rein to do what they can. These are the same generals that really haven't had a strategy for anything in that country so far. Does it take another 16 years? Or as John McCain said a while back, is this a 100-year war? We know it won't be, because we simply can't afford a 100-year war or another 16 years. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens. I hope it works out. Maybe 4,000 or 5,000 more troops is just what's needed, just at the right time. Maybe the home team will pick up the slack over there, run the Taliban out, and things will be fine. I'm not looking for that to happen. What I am looking for is continued uncertainty, and that's why we keep bringing you the news like this, and we keep encouraging you to do what you're doing and prep for any and everything. So down below, I've got some great links. I took a video during the eclipse. I was actually up in the 99% blackout range, so I was about 50-60 miles from the actual total eclipse zone. It got pretty dark. It was like being out in a bad thunderstorm or at dusk. The street lights came on, but it wasn't quite what I expected. I didn't run the video, so I'm going to attach it down below. You can see that. I did not go blind, and there was no great calamity. Just an interesting day with the sun. Alright guys, it's getting hot out here. I'm starting to sweat, so I'm going to wrap it up. Have a great weekend. If you're in Texas, do take precautions and stay safe with Harvey. Guys, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.